Hey, what is up? My name is Chris, and hopefully you are having a great day. Today we're talking about understanding what your ideal weight should be. Now, I get this question asked often. I'm not sure what I should weigh. It's like, the chart says this, but I don't know if it's right for me. And so I'm going to share with you the steps that I take with my clients to give you a formula. And in fact, maybe at the end of this, I might have something I can share with you that you can then use for yourself if you ask nicely. Okay. Now, with that being said, for those of you who don't know, my name is Chris. I run an online fitness business called the Trailblazer Fitness Academy, where I help people lose weight and keep it off long term, which is the key here. And so when it comes to understanding ideal weight, that's a major factor in determining where we're going. Because if you undershoot what you're getting and you weigh more than where ideally you should be, it's easier to maintain, sure. But the whole point of weight loss and losing weight should be, one, aesthetics, two, but that's second to being healthy. And we know, studies have shown over and over and over and over and over again that when you have excess body fat and excess weight, you are linked to higher risk of heart attack, diabetes, cancers, strokes, dying young, being unfulfilled, depression, aches and pains, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis. The list goes on and on and on and on and on, okay? So by no means am I saying that you have to be perfect to fit within this thing. No. What I am saying, though, is that you need to shoot for excellence. And being excellent means you have a long life and you have a fulfilling life. And you're not held back by your weight, not because you don't do stuff, but because you literally cannot. If you cannot get off of the floor, if you cannot walk upstairs, you are likely not going on the hikes, you're not going on the beaches, you're not going on the plane rides, you're not going on the roller coasters. You're not doing these things. And that, to me, is unfulfilling. So if you want to take this and report this as somebody being mean and nasty and rude, by all means, that is your perception. That is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is I want you to live a long, healthy, happy life so that you cannot be like my dad, like my cousins, and the countless other people in the entire world that die young from preventable disease. Okay? Are we clear on all of this? I'm sure if you're watching this point, if you got to this video, hopefully you are. But I'm telling you with a solemn heart and a open and all loving person that I just want you to be happy and healthy. Okay? Okay. So without further ado, let's dive into the math. So a couple of things you're going to have to know when it comes to this, okay, is I have a fancy schmancy machine, this guy here, that tells us your body fat percentage, your weight, and all these things. Okay, there's plenty of different ways you can figure these things out on your own. If you're local to me, you can come and use my machine. There's other systems like an InBody or a DEXA scan or like the bioelectrical impedance where you stand on it and it tells you your stuff. They all have pretty big rooms of error, which is why I enjoy this one, is that if you hop on it right now and you do it 5 minutes later, even after you go to pee or poop or eat food, it will adjust the weight to fit that weight within 1%, and then your body fat percentage should be within 1% from scan to scan, which is really cool. So really get an idea of where the heck you're at. So with all that being said, here's what we do. We first look at this individual. I have 3 examples that I'll share with you. Some of them where their goal weight was way off, not even close. Some of them where the goal weight was like too much. Some was too little, and some people that were spot on. Okay, and you might be surprised at one of them because it's something that you would never hear somebody that's in the health and fitness space tell their client, but I'll show you the math as to why I said what I said. Okay, so this person came in. This is a dude. So this dude came in and he said, hey, I want to be like 180 pounds. Is that good? So let's do the math. Let's figure it out. Okay. As you can see, oops, a daisy. I'm trying to move me. Dang it. Move me. 1 second. There we are. So currently is the last scan came in was 203. Okay. Body fat percentage is at 30.13%. Okay. So punch that in. That means his fat mass is, oh gosh, rocking this 2 screens. So 61. Lean mass is 142.1, okay? So here's what I did though. And I 141, whatever. I didn't put the 0.4, it would be accurate if it was, whatever, okay? But there's something to be said about inflammation, okay? Now he's actually lost all his inflammation, so I'm actually gonna move this to like 3, okay? Because in these numbers here, body fat percentage is of your overall weight. How much is fat stuff? How many of these bad boys, how much of this do you got on you? Okay, this is body fat. Now, don't get it twisted with BMI. That's separate. BMI takes your height and your weight to figure out what your body mass index is. As in, of your height, how much weight are you carrying per inch or per square inch or centimeter or whatever it is. I don't know what this off the top of my head. I don't remember. Okay, but it's that. Okay. Now, for us, we want to get crystal. We want to get really clear, because if, let's say, this person here is 200 pounds and they're at 30% body fat, and somebody's at 200 pounds and at 10% body fat, their health risk is dramatically different. Okay, 30% for men puts them in obese, 10% of men puts them in athletic. So you see how that difference is there. It's a huge disparity, which is why I like to have a zoomed in picture of body fat percentage. It tells us a better story. Okay, so 61 pounds of fat, 142 pounds, 141.8 pounds of lean mass with whatever. I'll put the 203.4. Now it's the same, okay? So I'm going to take 3 pounds off from inflammation. Just from stuff that him eating foods that cause inflammation, excess water, poop, pee, whatever, that we can get rid of when eating better foods and losing some extra weight from not being so inflamed, okay? So for men, we're going to scooch over to the men. His lean mass is here, right? This is the lean mass bucket. Ideal body fat percentage for men is between 20 and 15%. At over 20%, you have a higher likelihood of heart attack, diabetes, all these other things like I talked about before. So at 20% body fat, he would have 28 pounds of fat on him based on his lean mass. Okay? At 15%, he'd have 21. So ideally, with him having currently 61.3 pounds of fat on him, he needs to lose between 33 and 40 pounds of fat off of his body, making his ideal weight being somewhere between 160 and 167, somewhere in there, depending on the trades that is worth him making in order to maintain his weight. If he wants to be a little bit leaner, maybe have his abs show a little bit more, have more veins, whatever it might be, not to where you look like a bodybuilder, but looking fairly lean, he would then shoot for 160 pounds. Pretty sweet, right? And there's a little bit of leniency, 2-ish% leniency either way, because of food in your gut, poop, pee, fluid, whatever. So he could be as high as 162, 163-ish to as low as 157, somewhere in that bucket. That's where he'd be lining up at. Make sense? That gets him to where he needs to be as far as the low end. The high end could be between 165 and 170, somewhere in that range, right? So he needs to lose 33 to 40 pounds. Now let's move on to another example. The other two are ladies, and this is the one that I don't think you're going to think what I'm going to say. Okay, so this lady came in. She's 322 pounds. Just start. She's amazing, amazing woman. Awesome, really awesome chick. She is starting out currently at 322.5. Okay, and she's at 50.82% body fat. Okay, so that means she has 163.9 pounds of fat and 158.6 pounds of lean mass. Now for her, being as heavy as she is, she's probably going to have, not probably, she definitely has a lot more fluid inflammation on her than somebody who weighs less than them, okay? So I'm going to put on here, let's put 15. Okay, so this is like the phenomenon whenever, if you ever heard somebody go, oh my gosh, I lost 20 pounds this month. You're like, holy shit, what did you do? That they probably lost 3 to 5, maybe 6 pounds of fat, and then the rest of it's water, okay? So like, that's not gonna happen again. If it does, it's really scary that you have that much fluid in your body to lose. Again, very terrifying, okay? And a bunch of poop and stuff. Anyway, so 15. All right, so when we scooch over to the ladies, she has 143 pounds lean mass, and she's also 5'4". So if you were to go to somebody who's 5'4", and you're like, what's your ideal weight? A little chart might say 135 to 150. But based on her lean mass, she would have to get weaker and have less of a great metabolism to be able to maintain a lower weight. Makes no sense, right? Which is why looking at a chart is helpful. It might point you in the right direction, but it doesn't tell us the full story, right? Because if she were to do that, she would have to lose a bunch of muscle, which would suck, right? She's a bigger girl. She's got really wide hips. She's got really big bones. So for her, 162 to 175 or 172 to 175 is absolutely reasonable. It's something that you can maintain for her size, to keep her curves, all of those things. And so she also doesn't have to go work out every single day for an hour and a half, not eat any food she enjoys. That's what this body fat percentage gets you at if you're a woman, which is awesome. This is the body fat percentage it gets you at if you're a male, which is really awesome. right? That you can live life, and that you don't have to worry about, oh, I can't eat any Halloween candy, or my birthday I'm only eating, like I'm not able to enjoy a piece of cake. You know what I'm saying? That's where these body fat percentages get you at. So again, don't get it twisted of, oh, but this is for people who are like you, Chris, who are ultra lean and just work out every single day and stuff. No, I'm at like 13, 14, maybe 15% body fat right now, right? I still enjoy cake. I had, what did I have last night? I had buffalo chicken sandwiches with fries yesterday for dinner. You know what I mean? Like, so I get to enjoy foods I like. I just understand how to eat them in a way that makes sense. And also so I can have fun in life. That's where this thing gets you, okay? So, the next one. So, I'm sure for most people, though, you'd be like, oh, at 5'4", you should be 150 pounds or so. Not in her case, man. Not in her case. She would be weaker. She would have less energy. She would have less muscle. And her bone structure might not even allow for it. So we have her set to 172 to 175. Very reasonable. Okay, and even if, let's say, she lost 10 pounds of lean mass, not 15, she would then be at 178 to 181. Absolutely healthy at that range. Absolutely healthy. Okay, last example. Okay, another lady. We're going to scooch over to my thing. Her goal weight was 110. Okay, so she's at 25.41. Oh, that's her current weight, excuse me. Her current weight's 114. We started off at 130 something when she first started. Actually, let me pull up that stuff. Let me hurry and get that, actually. Let me hop off here so you guys can't see who it is. I'm going to keep anonymity because it's definitely not cool for me to share stuff with their details on it. That would not be cool. Oh, excuse me, she started at 124.7. Okay, make sure. All right, that's all you need to see. Okay, so she was at 124.7. 124.7. Body fat percentage is at 29.88. Okay, so for her, I think she lost, like, if let's say you were going to mark her down because she's already so light. Let's say she lost like 7 pounds of lean mass. Okay, so we're going to scooch over, and it's a woman, and she's 5'1". So some people might be like, all right, well, 100 to 110 is probably an ideal weight for her, right? For the first guy, he said it was like 180 pounds. What we found out was actually 160 something. For the other lady, she's like, it needs to be, for her it's 200, and for her just a little bit less, so not much. This lady, let's try and see what this looks like. So with her current situation, she could be at between 97 and 98 pounds. And absolutely be within healthy range. But actually pose another problem, which is why doing this is so important, so we can see really, again, the full picture of realistically what would you like. Because if I go, oh, come on. If I go and we look at, there we are. Come on, one sec, sorry team. All right, so then this poses another problem though. Because if you see here, let me scooch there we go. So if you see here, she burns 100 or 1,100 calories per day at her current situation. Problem, because it's not a lot of food. And so what we're actually doing with her is we're losing the weight, which she's already down to a weight right now, or a body fat percentage where we're building muscle, so that ideally what happens is we add some. Where now her ideal weight is around that 110 mark, but she's also building a bunch of muscle while she's doing it so that she can have a better metabolism. For every pound that you build, that increases that number by 10 at rest, but between 30 to 40 actively per hour, which is per day, which is pretty bomb. And so that makes this thing going from active burning calories per day to like 1,600, maybe 1,700, to upwards of 2,000, 2,100, depending on the activity and exercise she's doing for the day. Pretty bomb, pretty bomb. And I can tell you this, it's a lot easier to maintain your weight when you have a better metabolism. The other two, metabolism was great. This lady, she could actually lose more if she wanted to, but it still sets her up for not long-term success, which is why we're adding some muscle to her. Makes sense? This is why having the stuff here and looking at it from a different lens of just a chart, why it's so freaking important. Okay, so hopefully you guys found value in this. If you want access to this thing, or if you want me to review where you are at, our best step is to go to the breakthrough form down below. On there, I can get an idea of your situation, what you're struggling with, where you're at, where we need to go, and really paint a picture of the steps necessary it's going to take for you to go from where you are today to that end goal, to where you can maintain that for the rest of your freaking life, giving you the exact blueprint of never ever needing a weight loss program ever again. Okay. Worst case on the call is you get a ton of information, you get extreme clarity about what you're struggling with, and you leave the call being pointed in the right direction of where you need to go, even if it means I send you to somebody that's not me. Best case scenario is we have the program for you, it's a right fit, and we get you involved and have you show up like one of these people on the back wall here with a body that you love, that you're able to maintain for the rest of your freaking life. No matter if you got 10 pounds to lose or 100 and something pounds to lose like you saw in these other pictures. That being said, have a great day, kick some butt, take some names, I'll talk to you soon.